Welcome once again to Africa Sportsman Show. I'm standing here with Seppie Cilliers. He's from Magnum Archery here in Pretoria. We're standing here on his property, and we have some interesting times ahead of us with some serious bow hunting gear we're going to test. So Seppie, I'm completely out of my depth here. Please explain to us what equipment this is. I mean, this is not new. This has been on the market for a year, just over a year.
2 years, yeah.
But I mean, we're gonna try and put it through its paces in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, the Ravin has revolutionized the crossbow industry completely. It doesn't really look like your standard crossbow. There's a lot of features here that is very unique, and all the features allows this crossbow and allows the person that's shooting this crossbow to shoot up to 100 yards, 100 meters, and even further, depending on the person behind the crossbow. This crossbow is shooting at 430 feet per second, and it's generating 164 foot-pound kinetic energy. So it's got devastating power.
It is the Ravin 20. I mean, there's two models. There's
Yes.
the 10 and then the 20.
Yes.
So this is the top model.
Yes.
There's a 30 foot per second difference between the two,
Yes.
and this is the one we're gonna use.
The R20 model, you get the R10 model. I can't really say it's the introductory model because it's a beast on its own as well. But the R20 is shooting 30 feet per second more. It's generating more foot-pound kinetic energy, of course, and allowing the bolt actually just to get to the target quicker.
Yeah.
The Ravin, what's unique about the Ravin is the way you actually load it and the way you can deload it or decock it
Because
as such.
the traditional way is the stepping on it and
Yeah,
pulling it
pulling
back,
it.
and this is totally different.
Yes, the new modern crossbows actually have a rope cocking device, so you loop a rope around the string, and then you are able to actually pull the bow itself. This you have a cocking mechanism in the stock here, and this whole trigger mechanism actually just slides forward, and it clips onto the string. And like a fishing reel, you just reel it in.
Yeah, so there's
It's
no physical power required. I mean, anybody can do it. It's not a string.
And what's very unique about this is anybody can shoot it. This has got no recoil at all.
Yeah,
So
we've been chatting about it. You know, some guys ask us, you know, why you want to do this? I mean, why you want to test this thing at you know, the severe distances? What we're planning to do, and that was one of your answers. You know, that is a nice not a transition, but I mean, it's a nice introduction for somebody, you know, to push the range a little bit, you know, to stretch the range a little bit, and you know, not to get that individual scared, you know, with recoil and heavy noise and whatsoever. This is the perfect tool to use in such an instance.
Yes, you know, individuals, some guys feel comfortable shooting at 100 meters with their rifles, and some are comfortable at 400 meters with the rifle. My daughter is very young. I'm not going to give her my 375 rifle to shoot something.
Exactly.
This R20, I can give it to her, and she can shoot a kudu, she can shoot an eland, and if we've got the right tip in front of the arrow, we can shoot a buffalo.
Yeah.
So it allows everybody, the man, his wife, children, everybody can shoot this crossbow.
And we're not going to touch on that again in terms of what you can shoot with it. I mean, this thing is set up with the arrows. I mean, you can hunt a buffalo.
Yes.
More than 40-50% of what's legally required to do it. I mean, so in terms of killing power and what this thing can do, you know, that's it. We're not going to discuss that again. We want to check, you know, how accurate we can shoot it at 100.
And the reason why we're also here is I've seen your ability, how you shot the animals with your double open sight, and I must say I take my hat off to you how you were able to take those animals. With this, we actually want to with your ability, we want to see if we can stretch its legs and take it to that 100 meters and see if we can. I've got no doubt about it, but we are going to put it to the test and see how it works.
Yeah, the limiting factor here will definitely be the human element. I mean,
Yes.
The equipment we're going to use is up to standard. So I think we need to get up. You've already zeroed it at 100 meters in like a wind tunnel. I mean, this is perfectly set up. But now we're out in the open. The wind will be a factor. It's going to have an effect.
Yes.
And we need to take that into consideration. It's not just picking it up and shooting. I mean, you have to read the conditions and so forth. So the wind is blowing a little bit, just enough, you know, so we can have a nice look on the target where it hits.
I'm estimating about a 1 to 2 inch move with this breeze. As a norm, the grouping size you'll get at 100 meters for your average shot would be about the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, at 100 meters, if you go for the vitals on any animal, you'll be able to hit the engine room.
For sure. Well, let's set up a 3D target or two, and let's
See
start.
what it
Let's
can
start
do.
maybe at 50 meters, and then let's crank it up to 100.
Let's get it done.
I'm gonna target a hartebeest. You coming along, being the champion archery competitor that you are, you're gonna have a smaller target than a hartebeest. But I mean, this is more or less the size animal we're gonna be targeting. What we practiced on here today. So I think at the moment a little bit more practice, but not bad for a start.
Yeah, I think we're going to give it to you for the few days, and you give it a go and make sure you're comfortable with it. And there's no doubt. I mean, with the broadhead in front of this bolt, every single shot that's there is a
kill shot.
Is a kill shot. Well done.
Well, here we are, just turned 5 a.m. The sun is up, a little bit of clouds in the air. Seppie is driving behind me. We're just about to reach the Sechaba Safari's gate, less than an hour from Pretoria. So really looking forward to testing the Ravin 20 this week. Morning, Andre.
Stefan, welcome back.
Thanks, man. Good to see you again.
Hi.
This is
Welcome to
Seppie. He's the owner of Magnum Archery in Pretoria. So we're going to be testing some of his products here this week with you.
We're looking forward to a good day.
Let's have a good hunt.
We want to stretch the legs of this Ravin a little bit. So we're going to take a practice shot or two here at 50. Then we're going to move back up to 100, just checking that everything is still as we practiced with it, and then we can head out.
Stefan, we're just gonna make sure we're putting on some of the broadheads that I've got for this test. I'm using the mechanical broadheads. It's Grim Reapers. Reason being, it's one of those broadheads that's it's very accurate at long distances. So which is something that's very important for us, especially at the range we're going to shoot.
It's definitely more important than killing power. I mean, you have to hit it spot on first, before. Doesn't help. It has all this cutting effect, but you're not accurate at the distance you want to shoot.
So this stays closed while in flight, and as soon as it impacts the animal, it will open up.
Okay.
And that will give us about 1.5 inch cutting diameter. And that's extremely sharp. That's razor sharp.
Yeah. maybe 150 meters. The wind is good and in our face. There's a little bit of a hill here, so let's just get around this tree. And just to the front of this hill, and we'll have another look. I'm not sure, but I think I saw one. Okay.
Stefan,
Well, Seppie,
what happened?
we took the shot at 99 meters. It was a little bit further than we
100
practiced this
yards.
morning, and with this wind blowing from left to right, the animal was standing with his head away from us. So I compensated a little bit for the wind. I'm just scared it's it's back 1 or 2 or 3 inches more than I would have liked. But I could see the arrow hit in the center of the animal's body, and a little bit further forward than in the middle. So yeah, theoretically it should hit the liver or the back of the lungs, but no, it is a marginal shot. I took a bit more for the wind than was necessary, but it took off. I could clearly see the arrow hit, so I'm happy with the shot. But as you indicated, 15 to 20 minutes wait before we go and spook something.
The broadhead will do the job fine. I think even if it's in that area, it will definitely cut the vitals. I mean, it was a brand new razor sharp broadhead.
Yeah.
So I think even it will definitely do what it's supposed to do. We give it a few minutes, and then we go to where you shot it. We look for some blood, and then we can take the blood trail. But
Okay. And
110 yards. That's an amazing shot.
Yeah, no, so the shooting sticks helped a bit. We had to move a little bit to get through this gap. Didn't want the arrow to hit any of the branches because you could see the hartebeest, from down here.
Yes,
But as you
yes.
indicated earlier to me, you must remember the flight path of the arrow. It's not
Yes.
like a bullet that goes straight.
Yes.
So I had to move a little bit. They got spooked a bit, but they didn't know of us. And as that specific animal started to look around. It's that same animal we saw numerous times this morning. It's been starting to losing condition over the last
Yes,
few months, and so
that's the one we wanted.
that's
to
the
take.
one we wanted to take out. So let's hope the
Yeah.
shot went well and hit some of the vitals. And
Over a shooting stick, and you can see in the brush here how the wind's blowing and moving. It was not an easy shot, but that's exactly what we wanted to achieve with this Ravin, to see if we can, like you say, stretch the legs. That we 1 meter short of 100 meters. I'm positive. I think we'll have good success in recovering the animal. Well done.
Wie vind je is mis?
Nee, spens mis.
Ja, nou is er die pens.
It's a very mature. Congratulations.
Stefan. Thanks, man. Let's just make this thing safe.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, like I expected, a little bit far back.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the drought we have this year, and I just think it's old age. I don't think it would have lasted another season. So
no, for sure.
it's a good animal to harvest and to take out. And I would like to shoot it about 4 inches, behind the shoulder. For me, that's always a safe shot. So this is about 4 to 5 inches more back. But I mean, you can clearly see it opened up. All 3 blades cut.
Yes.
Is that correct, Seppie?
Yeah, definitely. I
can we
mean, that
assume that?
triangle shows that it opened up, and I think maybe, and with all due respect, maybe you underestimated the power of the Ravin and how fast it is and how less. Well, obviously, the wind does not really affect the bolt as much as one would expect.
Well, I can tell you now, we can feel the wind as we're standing here. It's exactly it's been blowing the same, for the last 2 hours, and it was completely broadside. And you know, doing a lot of long distance shooting, and long distance I would call between 300 and 400 meters with a rifle.
Yes.
You definitely have to take the wind into account, you know, and we've been chatting about it, and you know, you've been trying to guide me as far as possible and saying, listen, just remember the wind from which side it's blowing and give a little bit. You definitely said not more than 2 inches. I did not listen to you. My gut just told me, yes, the wind's blowing.
Yes.
110 yard shot. Let's take another 2 or 3, and that wasn't necessary. The power of that thing is unbelievable.
And a brand new broadhead, that shows you why it's important to use a high quality broadhead in the front. I mean, that's obviously 3 razor blades that went through that animal.
Yeah.
And I would say it's not even 300 meters.
Yeah, not even.
So this animal actually, after you shot it, maybe ran this distance in 10 seconds, and
it was
it
stone dead
expired.
when we got here, you know.
Yeah.
So it's but that's also the advantage, you know, of giving it that 10 or so minutes. You know, there's a lot of heated debates going around forums and campfires all around the world. What is the right thing to do?
Yes.
Is it ethical or unethical to wait for that 10 minutes? You know, a lot of people would say no, it's unethical. You need to follow up on it. But I mean, in this instance, this was a marginal shot. That 10 minutes or 15 minutes that we waited did the trick. I mean, we didn't rush and spook the animal. Maybe it stood here for a minute or two before collapsing. I don't know, maybe it went down, but you know, it all went out well. Seppie,
It was fantastic.
thank you so much.
Congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you for thank you to you guys as well. Well, Seppie, just the last big thank you to yourself. You know, for joining me on this trip and making the equipment available. We've been chatting about it for the last 12 months, saying we wanted to do something. The guys from Huntec, they made a cool video where they shot numerous animals there at Willoughby, and I think they used it up to 50 odd yards.
Yes.
We decided we want to stretch the legs a little bit. Yeah, I think somebody like myself need a little bit more practice with it, but if you're a keen bow hunter and you know what the conditions will do to your arrow, I mean, that thing is just there where I put the dot, that is where it hit, even in this wind, and you know, it was just
I think you know, the Ravin have been used by quite a lot of outfitters and so on. It's a weapon that you really actually want to have in your arsenal. You know, it's accurate and it's very effective, and anyone can use it. And
for sure.
I mean, you've shot it a few times, and there's your animal. It was very well done, and we left early this morning from Pretoria just after 5. We got here at 6 o'clock, and it's an amazing place where we.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, I've hunted a couple of times here at Sechava Safaris. We've become great friends, me and Donovan and Jandre, and it's like you said. I mean, you're 45 minutes from the office, you know,
Yeah.
and it's some beautiful country. There's a boatload of animals here. So to the guys at Sechava, Jandre, Donovan, he will be joining us later. I can't wait to see what that Ravin does to that buffalo. He's planning to shoot a buffalo tomorrow with it.
Definitely, yeah.
But still, there's some work for you to do. You want a blaze buck and
Yeah.
a little
let's
bit
see what
smaller
happens.
target for the more experienced bow hunter. So really looking forward to it. Seppie,
Yeah,
thank you
let's
so
give it
much
a
again. Eh?
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Yes, what a shot. You get on YouTube.
Well, good morning. Welcome once again to Africa Sportsman Show. I'm standing here with Donovan and Seppie. We had a great evening last night here at Donovan's place here at Sechaba Safaris. This morning we're gonna really put this Ravin through its paces. Donovan is looking to hunt a buffalo here on his own property. There's a couple of bulls here available, and we want to test this thing thoroughly. So Donovan, you decided to take a buffalo. Seppie has set it up for you. And I think we're going to quickly explain the aim of this thing. I mean, buffalo hunting with a bow is always a dangerous situation. You're always up close. There's no long shots. And guys, please help me out here. Traditionally, what is for a compound 70-80 pound bow that generates around about 80 foot-pound of kinetic energy, what is legally required to hunt a buffalo? Seppie, how far do you need to be, at the furthest that you can be away from that animal before you shoot?
Yeah, ideally it depends on the archer and the hunter himself. Usually I would say the average would probably be about 30 meters.
So what we want to do with this thing this morning is we want to stretch it a little bit. I mean, the aim is to do it at 50.
Yes.
So one big advantage is everybody behind this thing is a little bit safer.
Yes.
The further you are away from a buffalo is that, and then obviously we want not that we want to test it. We know what this thing can do, but it would be nice to see the effect that it has on something as big as a buffalo.
Yeah, all the calculations work out fine. The bolt is almost 600 grains. It's giving us the kinetic energy that we want. Donovan is a great shot. We've practiced on the range, so everything at this point in time makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think we'll have any issues.
And just quickly explain about the broadhead. We're using a different one that we have been using. For what reason is that? Just explain.
Yeah, it's a 2-blade broadhead. It's extremely sharp as well. It's got a more like a bone breaking kind of tip in the front. That's just to give the best penetration, especially if you might hit some of the bigger bones that's on a buffalo.
Yeah.
That's ideally what we want. And it's highly unlikely that this would bend or break.
Yeah. So it's just more rigid.
It's more rigid, and obviously we're hunting a big, dangerous game animal, and this is the most ideal broadhead to use.
Donovan, your experience with this thing. You took a couple of shots yesterday on the range. 1 or 2 of the shooting sticks, and you said that's it. You're done. Up to 50 meters, you're going to shoot offhand. What's your experience over the last 2 days? Well, yesterday and this morning with this piece of equipment.
I think what separates it from the ones that we used to is the fact that it's very constant. And
Yeah.
that's what any hunter needs. It shoots on the same place where
Yeah.
you want it, and that's what's quite nice. The big benefit of this is the speed. The speed of the projectile is very impressive. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot. It's not the first one that I've shot with a crossbow or a bow before, but every buffalo's got its own personality, so it's going to be interesting. But I'm looking forward to test the power on 50 meters especially, because when I used to shoot mine, it's on 30 or 40 max. But this is going to be impressive to try and test this on 50 meters. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, we'll catch up afterwards.
Well, the sun is going.
Yeah,
I think let's get on the back of the vehicle and let's get to the hunting area.
let's go.
All right.
Great.
Always a good idea to take a rifle of 2 on a buffalo hunt.
And we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Is dit sy linker hoor?
Well, yeah, the buffalo was obviously hesitant, and they noticed us from early on, so it was difficult for us to get close. But we just sat out and waited for the wind to turn, and the animals came to us, and we managed to get a shot on 65 meters.
I think it was 58.
58 meters.
50. We were lucky. I mean, they just
Definitely, yeah.
they just turned around. They smelled us earlier, and they took off. And obviously they stopped somewhere, and we could hear them running, and hear them running back. And
Yeah.
they put against this tree, and yeah.
Good thing the wind changed. But yeah, it was a good shot. 58 meters, I think, is really impressive for a bow. Let's go see what damage it did.
Here you can see where they took off. So somewhere here will be the point of impact. So I mean, I'm not an experienced bow hunter, so I don't know if that thing will go through or not. It was a fast shot, 58 meters. So let's assume the arrow is not out, and we won't find it.
Well, that tells you that it's shot because there's some feces lying around.
There's some dung here as well. So it went away quite fiercely. So they took off in this direction. I think let's spread out a little bit and just look for some blood. It's nice, and the dew on the grass and the soil is nice to check, where they took off. So we'll have a general direction, and let's pan out for a couple of meters and see if we can find some blood.
We've got the point. There's the arrow. Wow, that's amazing. It went right through.
Nice and bubbly.
As you can see, it's lungs because of the bubbles in the blood. And 70 meters I had to aim with my...
Yeah, with where you hit the target. We didn't fiddle with the scope.
Yeah.
We could have adjusted it, but
yeah.
There's something about a scope and a hunter that doesn't want to fiddle with it.
You know it, you leave it.
You compensated pretty well. I mean, you can see all the bubbles here. It's congratulations on a good shot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Just touch his back. Was that it? One shot kill. Awesome.
Congrats, man.
Thank you very much.
Great
Thank
shot,
you very much.
Buster.
Thank you very much. Let's see
Great
where
composure.
yeah. It's the most important. Let's see the placing is awesome.
Perfect.
60 meters a shot to the crossbow.
58. Yeah, 58.
Went right through. Awesome. Amazing.
And it's right on the shoulder, so it's not like it was an easy pass through for the arrow. I mean,
No, sure. So the hunt was quite interesting. So yeah, the buffalo kept us moving around the whole time from one place to another. It was really an interesting hunt. It wasn't a situation where you just sit and wait for the buffalo. It really made you work. And it also made you use the techniques that you've learned over the years, Stefan, of bush hunting, because it's not just to sit in the bush and wait.
Yeah, no.
You need to take the wind in consideration the whole time because the wind moves. And trying to get behind something the whole time so that you don't stand out.
Tell us about the equipment. I mean, I'm Seppie, you eager to hear about it. I mean, is it the first buffalo hunt you on with the Ravin?
I found, well, with the Ravin, yes, for sure. Obviously, I've seen a couple that was done and so on, and I'm glad and thank you for allowing us to test this Ravin at Sechaba Safaris. I think a lot of guys were a little bit skeptical when we wanted to test it at the 100 yards, 100 meters, and buffalo is probably one of the ultimate tests to see how it goes. So, I mean, you had a really good shot. Shot placement was perfect.
We wanted to test it at 50 meters or more, and that's exactly how it panned out. It was at 58 meters when we made the shot. So
it was difficult because the buffalo was moving the whole time between the others, and you got one buffalo in mind. So timing is so crucial. The first shot we wanted to take, they were standing next to each other, and obviously for obvious reasons, if it does go through, you don't want to take the shot.
Yeah,
so that's once again timing, and as they moved around, and the one that you wanted just adds a nick in front of the rest, that's when you have to take the shot. So.
Yeah, and it had a complete pass through.
Yes, definitely.
We picked up the arrow about 3-4 meters, from where the skid marks were, where they took off. So.
Yeah, and the nice bubbles on the lungs, on the blood, on the point just shows you it was a clear shot.
Well,
but it was very enjoyable.
congratulations, and Seppie, thank you to both of you guys for
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you,
letting us
Seppie.
tag along on this, and yeah, definitely some serious killing power in that Ravin. Thank you for watching the show. Keep following our channel.